U.S. money manager Merrill Lynch Wealth Management has blacklisted customers resident in Nigeria. The move has sparked anger there, where some commentators say it undermines government efforts to clean up the country's financial sector. We'll cross over now to Lagos, where Wole Famurewa is on standby for a chat with Bismarck Rewane, CEO of Financial Derivatives. Wole, good evening.
Good evening to you, Godfrey. Well, I'll get right into it. Bismarck Rewane joins me. He's the CEO of Financial Derivatives and indeed one of the clients that have been blacklisted by Merrill Lynch, like you mentioned. Bismarck, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. Well, maybe since you've experienced it firsthand, explain to us what is going on exactly here.
First of all, it's not blacklisting. Some accounts are being closed. Merrill Lynch, which is a subsidiary of the Bank of America, is reevaluating their entire strategy and determining what markets they want to operate in and what markets they don't want to operate in. Nigeria happens to be one of the markets where they don't want to provide wealth management and asset management services anymore.
But what else?
And then they've asked that the accounts to be closed. They wrote letters on November 14th and asked you within 6 weeks to close your accounts, or else they mail a check to you through the post. Okay,
but what else can we read into this? Does it say anything about the attractiveness of Nigeria for foreign asset managers, for instance?
Yes, it does. I think what it says is that Merrill Lynch provides services to the government of Nigeria, provides services to institutions, financial advisory services. But for asset management, the critical factor is assets under management. Yes, nominally, Nigeria has $300 billion of GDP, $30 billion of reserves and private assets. But divided by the number of people, the average assets under management in Nigeria does not compare favorably with other markets. So Merrill Lynch, in his own best wisdom, decides to pull out. But the issue is not pulling out. Everybody has a right to redefine its business focus. But after 20 years or 15 years or 30 years of managing clients' accounts, you don't give them 4 or 5 weeks to close the account, or else we send you a mail. It's very unorthodox and unprofessional.
Yeah, of course, that's one of the
and
issues.
It is discriminatory, in which case something has to happen about it.
But let's talk a bit more broadly about asset management in Nigeria. Obviously, there's serious income disparity between the rich and the poor.
Definitely.
And in fact, the uptake of things like mutual funds is very low in Nigeria. It seems more like the rich are the ones that really demand these services.
Yes.
Well, give us your views on how you see those dynamics changing going forward.
Well, the important thing is that I think in making that determination, you have to ask yourself, even amongst the rich, how many of them can come out and say transparently that this is where they got their income? So there's a massive anti-money laundering environment in the world. There are questions being asked about know your customers, source of income, income contamination, asset contamination. So at times you ask yourself, is it worth the trouble? And if the bulk of the monies that people own, some of these wealth managers say the threshold is $5 million and above, $10 million and above. How many people can come out and say $10 million were earned from genuine and legitimate sources? So that is the question. So when they must have weighed all of this. However, you have to take a long-term strategic view of a market. The fact that a market has average income per capita of this and the average assets under management of this level today doesn't mean that it will not change in the next few years.
We'll see
I think Bank of America and Merrill Lynch will have to take another look at, one, whether they want to do what they're doing, and two, whether they're going about it the right way. The minimum they can do is at least to give more time for people to actually exit in an orderly manner rather than in a stampede.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if other asset managers do the same. Thanks a lot, Bismarck, for joining us. We'll be speaking to Bismarck Rewane, giving us his thoughts on this Merrill Lynch story, or they're calling it Merrill Lynch insult in Nigeria.